Hi there, I'm Dr. Andrea Shanowski from Freedom Chiropractic and Holistic Health and my YouTube channel, Health and Horsepower. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit more about why you would want to do a detox program on a yearly basis, but also what it does, how you do it, what products you need to take, as well as what symptoms and what to expect while you're doing a detoxification program. So on a daily basis, we are exposed to about 700,000 chemicals. That is from everything from our environment and the toxins that we're breathing in through the air, or things around our house that are letting off gases or EMF waves and things like that. We're also exposed to pesticides and additives in our food. We also have a lot of chemicals that are soaking through our skin from our health and beauty products. So when you take a shower, you're actually absorbing not only some of the chlorine and ammonia, but also we've been finding in our water supply now, we've actually found antidepressants and other things that are actually being soaked through your skin by your open pores when you're taking a warm or a hot shower. So you're not only absorbing those chemicals through your skin from the water, but also any chemicals that are in your shampoos, any chemicals that are in the lotions you put on your body, or even the deodorant you're using, or perfume that you're using, or makeup that you're using on a daily basis. Those toxins absorb directly through your skin. So in a way, we have so many toxins that build up in our body that it can cause many different issues for us. Now, when you have toxins that are not being able to be eliminated, so as you're getting these toxins exposed in your body, your liver is actually supposed to be taking care of and actually binding those toxins and eliminating those either through the urine or the feces. There are some toxins that can only be excreted through your skin, though. So if you're not sweating on a regular basis, or if you have some type of health condition where you're not necessarily sweating, like sympathectomies and other health issues, that can cause issues where your body is not able to excrete those toxins through traditional ways. So what tends to happen is those chemicals and toxins that your body can't eliminate tend to be stored. So they can be stored in the liver, kind of causing congestion where the liver is not functioning as well as it should be. So if you have liver enzymes elevated, if you have issues with cholesterol not being moved or transported properly throughout your body, that can be your sign that your liver is overwhelmed and not working at 100%. In addition, when we have those toxins that are inside of our body, it can actually interfere with the natural bacteria and gut flora that we have and actually cause our immune system not to work as well. It can also affect and cause neurological symptoms. So if you're having nerve pain, if you're having tingling and numbness, that may be a sign that you actually have toxins in your body that could be irritating your nerves or causing neurological symptoms because those toxins are in your body. I've also seen some research showing and suggesting that toxins that have crossed the blood-brain barrier, so I don't know if you know this, but polysorbates in our food and also chemical additives that are in our environment can actually bind to some heavy metals and allow them to cross the blood-brain barrier. Some of the research looking at Alzheimer's has actually shown that we have heavy metals being stored inside of our brain because that metal has crossed the blood-brain barrier and been allowed to build up in the brain, causing neurotoxicity and neurodegenerative effects from those toxins. The other thing, too, that you have to realize is when we have toxins in our body, your liver is going to try to excrete as much as it can, but when it runs out of ability to excrete, it'll actually start to store those in some of the useless cells in our bodies, like fat cells. So a lot of times what will happen is those toxins get stored in your fat cells, and your body will literally lower your metabolism and not allow you to lose weight or specifically lose fat when you're trying to work out and lose weight, because it doesn't want you to release those toxins in the bloodstream because it can have a lot of negative effects. So it can make it really hard to lose weight, but it can also make it really hard because your liver is not functioning well, your immune system's not functioning well, your neurological symptoms sometimes can also be a factor too that make life difficult and make your health problems really hard to get answers for. So I'm going to go over a couple toxicity symptoms. So symptoms like acne, constipation, bloating, heartburn, mood swings, depression, irritability, anxiety. Also, if you're having issues with fatigue or itchy eyes, runny nose, headaches, dizziness, joint pain, muscle pain, insomnia, poor memory, food cravings, trouble losing weight, or even water retention or swollen glands, those are all signs and symptoms. You may have toxicity in your body that could be contributing to many of those symptoms. So when it comes to doing a detox or a cleanse, there are some benefits. So when we're removing those toxins and getting rid of them safely, there's a key word there, safely, we want to make sure that we understand that when we do these things, that can actually help to improve your energy. It'll improve digestion response. It may help support your weight loss so it's easier to lose weight. It can also help improve some of the toxins and remove them from our skin, so it can actually make your skin clearer. It can also boost your immune system and reduce inflammation. It also can help promote healthy eating, because a lot of times we tend to overeat and we tend to crave certain foods when we have toxins building up and interfering with the metabolism. So when we actually improve metabolism by removing toxins, you may notice you don't have to eat quite as much, you're not hungry all the time, and you don't have cravings. So you're not overeating and contributing to some of the issues with weight gain, because you're eating the right things and you're not having to eat quite as much, and you're supporting your body's natural metabolism patterns. The other thing too is when you're removing those toxins, especially if they're coming from the brain, that's going to improve your mental clarity and your mood. It's also going to help when you do a cleanse to break some of the bad habits that you may have been doing with maybe some poor food choices or not taking care of yourself very well. But in addition, it can actually increase your longevity and promote wellness in your body too. So when it comes down to it, you have to realize that doing a detox program on at least once a year is really great to help support your body's detoxification systems and help get those functioning better again. Now, when we're looking at toxin removal, those toxins, like I mentioned, are removed through the urine, the feces, but also some have to be excreted only through the pores of your skin. So it's very important to realize when we do a detox, we also want to make sure we're sweating to help pull those out through our skin. Now, keep in mind that if you've done a cleanse before or you've done a detox before, it may not have been a full body detox. A lot of cleanses out on the market are basically just fiber and a laxative. So you're taking some type of green shake or vegetable shake, and then it is some type of product to help you poop more. Now, when we have fiber and a laxative, yes, you're going to be in the bathroom quite a bit more, but it's really only cleaning out your intestinal system, and it can actually cause irritation while it's doing it. It's not necessarily pulling those toxins or binding them safely so they can be removed. So really make sure that if you haven't done a detox or a cleanse before that's a full body designed to really pull heavy metals and toxins out, this may be kind of like what I would consider your first round. So you may notice some really severe symptoms as you do a detox. So let's talk a little bit more about the 2-week detox program we're going to be doing here at Freedom Chiropractic and Holistic Health. So during this cleanse, during this 2 weeks, you're going to be eating real food. So you're not eating like shakes out of a bottle. You're actually eating real food. However, we are going to be assisting our body's natural detox pathways. So there are going to be certain things we want to avoid and certain ways that we want to be eating to make sure our body has what it needs. So as we're doing this cleanse, we're removing toxins from our body, from our fat cells. We're going to restore properly balanced gut bacteria. We're going to be fighting any yeast overgrowth in the body. We're going to be removing parasites and also binding those toxins for safe removal. So during this process, I do recommend at least 30 minutes of daily activity, ideally to help you sweat. So going for a walk or a jog, going in a sauna or even a steam room to help pull those toxins out through your skin, or even doing an activity that helps you sweat. I would recommend at least 30 minutes of activity per day to keep your metabolism going and keep your body mobilizing those toxins as much as possible. The other thing is I have a planner I created that I think is just awesome. So the detox planner basically goes through. I have a log here where you can track your activity and any type of exercises that you're doing for self-care. You can also track your water intake. We do want to make sure we're getting at least 80 ounces. So I have a water drop for every 10 ounces that you're drinking. We also want to make sure we're getting at least 8 ounces of electrolyte drink. So in addition to your 80 ounces of water intake, I also have an electrolyte drink here. We have 4 different products, which I'll talk about next, as well as the dosages of those. We may need to adjust dosages if you're having pretty severe symptoms with the detox. The other thing I also have is a positive affirmation, so you can kind of give yourself a little encouragement on a daily basis, or maybe a word to kind of promote during your day. And then over on this other side here, I have a meal planner, so you can actually track your food intake. Now, when we're doing a detox program, because we are mobilizing toxins, we don't always feel the best, and a lot of times we may have ups and downs with our blood sugar. So to help with that and make sure that we're not feeling really super bad, we do want to make sure we're eating more frequently. I would say every 3 to 4 hours. So I have spots here for breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, and dinner to make sure that you are getting food throughout the day. I usually say every 3 to 4 hours, you want to have a handful of protein and a handful of fruits and vegetables. I also have a little energy level thing here that you can track. So usually when you first begin a detox, your energy level is going to be pretty low because your body's focusing on detox. And then I also have a little area here where you can write down how you're feeling or anything you want to kind of explore more or focus on more. You may notice that, like I said, you're eating a little bit differently because you're not having cravings. And there's also a section at the bottom here for just notes for yourself. So these are really great just to kind of help keep you on track and give you a little checklist for the day. Make sure you're getting everything in. It's a one single page, so it makes it a little bit easier for you. But the other thing too is while we are making sure that we are doing our activity, making sure we're eating more frequently, making sure we're getting at least 80 ounces of water hydration and 8 ounces of an electrolyte drink, we also want to focus on the clean eating. So when we're eating clean, we want to focus primarily on proteins. There's a lot of different sources of proteins. I have a list I'll also be sending with you, as well as fruits and vegetables. We want to make sure we're getting protein to support our adrenal system and support our body's metabolism to make sure it's not having to break down muscle for food sources. I would aim for at least 75 grams of protein per day. If you are exercising and doing weight resistance, I would probably up that to 100 grams a day to make sure you're getting enough protein. The other thing too is with those supplements, I mentioned there's 4 different supplements. Those are going to help to basically assist with the detox process. So the first one is called BioCleanse. This is actually a supplement that is designed to actively remove toxins from your cells. And like I said, if you've never done a detox before, or you've done a cleanse that was just the fiber and laxative and didn't actually pull toxins out of your body, sometimes as those are being released in the bloodstream, you may feel not the best, which we'll talk a little bit more about what those detox symptoms mean and what we can do for them. But typically, if you haven't done a detox before, or you start taking the 2 a day you're supposed to and feeling absolutely awful, sometimes I find if you space those out and do one of the BioCleanse like in the morning with breakfast and then maybe another one later in the afternoon, evening time, that may help so you're not detoxing all at once. If you still notice that taking them spaced out is still a bit too much and you're still not feeling the best, you may want to drop down to just 1 a day for that first week so that you're pulling toxins a little slower and then you're trying to support your body's detox processes and binding of those as much as you can. The other supplement that goes with that is the OrthoFlora. So this is actually an herbal supplement that is designed to balance your gut bacteria. It also eliminates any yeast overgrowth and parasites. So it's going to help to basically get your bacteria balance on point where it's supposed to be, get rid of any parasites or yeast that could be causing some issues with bloating or potentially interfering with nutrient absorption. And that is just really great with that one. Typically, you're going to want to take 2 a day. You don't necessarily have to space those out. I would definitely make sure you're doing those with a meal so you can pick whichever meal you think is going to work best for you to make sure that you're getting that in there to help push things through. The other thing we want to do is we want to make sure we're protecting our organs and cells from damage as those toxins and heavy metals are being released. So this is Protosorb C500. This is a high quality vitamin C. It is non-acidic and it's 500 milligrams in each capsule. So sometimes I do find if you take 1,000 milligrams at once, especially if you tend to have intestinal issues, it can go right through you. So by doing the 500, you have the option to break those up and do 500 earlier in the day, 500 later, or you can take 2 at once. We do want to make sure that we're drinking plenty of water when we're taking that, because if we don't, vitamin C can cause intestinal cramping if you're dehydrated. So that's why you need to make sure you get your hydration in as well. And then the very last product is the activated charcoal. So this is a binding agent. This will actually bind heavy metals, toxins. It can also bind some nutrients as well. So if you are taking a multivitamin, I would recommend taking that multivitamin at least 30 minutes away, like before you take that activated charcoal. Now, ideally, we want to take the activated charcoal 2 per day. Now, keep in mind, charcoal is black and it is going to be pushed out through your feces. So be aware that your stool may be a little bit darker in color. Not to worry, that's normal. That's what charcoal does, is as it binds any toxins, it's going to take those out through the stool. We're only doing this cleanse for 2 weeks. I usually do not recommend taking charcoal for more than a month. So 2 weeks is all we're doing. It's also a great thing to have in your house if you do have any issues with food poisoning or allergies. You can actually take that to help bind some things that could be contributing to food allergies, or like I said, even potentially food poisoning, to help kind of heal up from the effects of that. So with this cleanse, like I said, 2 weeks long, you've got supplements you're going to be taking every day. You're going to be eating regular meals throughout the day, focusing as much as you can on protein and fruits and veggies. We also make sure we're getting plenty of hydration and also electrolytes to help make sure your body is pulling that water into your cells and it's not just going straight through you. Now, when we're doing a detox program, like I mentioned, we are removing toxins and those are getting mobilized in our body, so they're going to be floating around in your bloodstream. When that happens, they are going to be eliminated through waste pathways like urine, feces, or sweat. However, don't be surprised if you see some color changes in your life. When the liver detoxifies hormones, sometimes our urine will turn more of like an orange color. If we are removing any bilirubin or sometimes gallbladder, sometimes we can see some yellow or green in our stool as well. And like I said, with the charcoal, you are going to see some black colorations. One thing I do want to mention is sometimes as we're detoxing, because some of these toxins do have to be excreted through the pores of our skin, you may notice that your sweat's a little different in color or scent. You may even notice that the sheets on your bed do become stained from your sweat as well. So I would recommend during this 2 weeks, you may want to make sure you're not using your favorite bed sheets. Maybe use ones that you can potentially throw away or you don't really care about, just in case you do have some different things that are being excreted through your sweat that could be discoloring your clothing or even your bed sheets. And you also want to make sure that as we're doing this cleanse and we're mobilizing those toxins, you may have some symptoms of detoxification that are your body's way of telling you that you are ill. So when these toxins get removed, you may have some symptoms. I've seen everything from like dizziness and lightheadedness with blood sugar ups and downs, which is why we're eating more frequently. I've also seen some issues where you may have like nausea or headaches, or even body pain as those toxins are being moved around your body. So if you want help with flushing those toxins, make sure you're getting your hydration and your electrolytes in. Some other things that you can do is you can also, on those days where you're having some of those negative symptoms, drink a bit more water if you can. Also focusing on rest a bit more, so maybe sleeping also will help with that too. We also want to make sure that as much as possible, if you're having those negative symptoms with the BioCleanse especially, you can drop down to 1 a day. You may want to engage in activities that cause you to sweat. So whether that's a sauna, a steam room, or even doing exercise that helps you sweat through your pores. So I hope I answered everybody's questions. I do want to mention if you are doing any type of activity that's going to cause you to sweat, so exercise, sauna, steam room, afterwards you want to make sure you use a washcloth and a simple cleanser like a soap to actually scrub off the dead skin cells and toxins from your body so it's not sitting on your skin and soaking back in. So after you sweat, you want to wash it off physically with a washcloth as well to make sure you're getting that off of your skin and off of your body. So I hope I answered a lot of questions. Like I said, I do have some of these detox kits available in the office. They are going to be 10% off in the month of March. My goal is to try to get a group of people together to do this detox program together. And then I will also be doing this detox as well. My plan is to potentially start this up on Friday, March 15th. Usually the first 2 to 3 days are kind of the hardest. So I figure over the weekend when people are hopefully resting or have some time to rest at home, that may be a bit easier for them to focus on self-care and doing some of the things that they need to do while they're at home. But like I said, usually the first 2 to 3 days are the hardest because that's when toxins are being mobilized first. So like I said, if you haven't done a cleanse before, or if you are experiencing symptoms, we can definitely decrease that BioCleanse down to just 1 a day that first week. But also we may want to make sure we're doing as much as possible to help assist flushing out those toxins with sweating, plenty of water, and making sure that your digestive system is moving well. If you tend to have issues with constipation, magnesium may be another friend that needs to join the party in that first week as we're mobilizing those toxins. So if you want to order a cleanse, you can either stop at our office during business hours. So we are here this week. We are here from 9 to 6 on Monday, 2 to 6 on Tuesday afternoon, 9 to 6 on Wednesday all day. We're also here Friday from 9 to noon. And then next week, we are here Monday all day, 9 to 6, Tuesday, 2 to 6, Wednesday, 9 to 6 all day, and then Friday, 9 to noon. And we're also here next Saturday, the 16th, from 8 to 10. So if you want to stop in, you can definitely stop in the office to pick that up. I do have a couple kits here still in the office. If I have a very high demand, I may have to reorder some of the products if they run out of stock quicker than that. But if you call me, I'll make sure I have those on hand, even if I have to go pick up an order for some of those other things myself to make sure we have those in stock for you so we can all start together, hopefully on the 15th. So if you have any questions, feel free to either comment down below. You can also message me on any of our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram. You can also call the office 309-689-6200, or you can even text us as well. So just make sure you reach out if you have any questions. And if you want to start, I will make sure that I have not only these kits together, but I will have some planner printouts for you. And I even have a couple sheets for some workouts. So if you decide you need some assistance with some workouts you can do to focus on ideally weight resistance to help you build muscle, since you're getting the increased protein, I do have a couple sheets printed off for some body resistance as well as some calisthenic exercises. And I even have a blank one for those of you that maybe want to put together your own workout plan. So hopefully this answered questions for you. And I hope we are able to work together to do this detox program. Have a great day.